And we're back with the Saturday NBL preview. 2 games with 3 teams that have already played this week. So a lot to break down and pick out the best picks from these 2 games. First up, it's New Zealand up against Tassie. Now, Tasmania was so close to getting another win on the board against Perth on Thursday, but could not get over the line. The Tassie defense has been pretty solid this season. They're keeping teams to low scores, but they're just struggling to put points on the board themselves. And those third quarters are disgusting. 7 in a row, they've lost an average of 9 points per quarter deficit in the third quarters. And 6 of those games have led to losses. So they need to fix up their third quarter business, but I don't think it's going to happen against this New Zealand team. They are on a tear right now. They've scored 105 points on average in their last 3 games. They've got Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide in those 3 games that they've scored those points. Otherwise, they're averaging 88.9 on the season. So I think their scoring has taken a tick up when they've gotten over that fatigue from the trip to the US. Tassie, as I said, almost got over the line against Perth on Thursday. Milton Doyle finally opened up. I think he hit 5 or 6 of his first 3-point shots on Thursday. Ended up around 50% from 3 towards the end of the game. But great to see him scoring again, and great for the JackJumpers if they can get that kind of roll on with points. I just don't see that they can go from having that 77.1 points per game they have averaged this season up to 90 or so, which they'll probably need to get to win against this Breakers team. It's not going to happen here. They need a gradual increase and more players to score, not just Milton Doyle. The 3 picks I have this one, the line is actually pretty low. I think it's like 3.5. So I'm going to take New Zealand to cover the line. If you're bold, you can even take an alternate line. I'd reckon you can get them out to like 6.5 and get a very good price for that. I'm also going the under. I don't think that Tasmania can contribute to the total here with their scoring power. So take the under. And then Matt Mooney he's averaging had 4 assists in his last 5 games and 15 points as well in 4 of the last 5 games. So a same game multi for Matt Mooney, 4+ assists and 15+ points in this first NBL Saturday game. In the second game of the day, it is Melbourne up against the Perth Wildcats. Again, both of these teams played on Thursday and now match up on Saturday, a 2-day turnaround. Melbourne are second in scoring at 92.9 points per game, and they're also 5th in defensive points or opposition scoring. So a pretty good defensive team as well. That number is slightly inflated with the shellacking they got from New Zealand last weekend. Perth just got over the JackJumpers last game on Thursday, thanks to a very good third quarter where they held the JackJumpers out. As I just explained in the first part of the video, the JackJumpers just fell apart in that third quarter, but it was due to Perth's defense and their ability to score. Elijah Pepper doing great things since Bryce Cotton has gone out. Now, the problem I see here with Perth as well is similar to what the JackJumpers in the first game. I just don't think they can score enough to outscore Melbourne, and with Melbourne's lockdown defense, it's going to be harder for them to put points on the board. So in that game, even with Pinder, Doolittle, Henschel, Pepper, all shooting very well, and their field goal percentage for the team at 45%, so still 4% more than their average in the season, they only scored 88 points. I don't see them getting up to that 95 or 97 points that they'd need to get on top of Melbourne with their elite scoring and their elite defense. It's just not going to happen. All of this kind of bottles down to consistency. The Perth Wildcats were able to put points on Illawarra, then they struggled to put points on Tasmania. They have been up and down in this kind of period since Bryce Cotton went out. I don't think they're consistent enough to back them in to score a lot of points against Melbourne and get the win. 7th in points, 7th in defense are the Perth Wildcats. You take with that what you want. I just don't think they're good enough. They have some great individual players as a team. They're not there yet to contend with Melbourne United in this short turnaround as well. They allow the second most three-pointers to any team in the league, and Melbourne shoot the second most, or have the second best three-point percentage, something along those lines. What that boils down to, Chris Goulding loves playing against this Perth team. I'm going to get him to have 3 plus three-pointers and 15 plus points. He's hit that in 4 of his last 6 games. Same game multi there. Melbourne to cover the line, the total to go over, and Chris Goulding 3 plus three-pointers and 15 plus points. That's your NBL Saturday. Check out all the other videos on the channel and enjoy your weekend.